welcome to the Caribbean Poker Classic. That's if you're in Europe. If you're in North America, welcome to the Caribbean Poker Classic. Yes, we're separated by a common language, but we're united here at St. Kitts by the common language of Texas Hold'em. We're going to be webcasting to you for the next 9 days. My name's Norman Pace, and I'm your presenter for that time. We're going to cover all the final tables of all the Texas Hold'em events. We've got a very special event for you halfway through the week on Wednesday. It's the first ever in the world Hold'em Blackjack multi-table tournament. Half Hold'em, half Blackjack, except you don't play against a dealer in the house, you play against each other. That's tremendously exciting, a lot of money at stake there, so join us for that one. We're going to be covering all of the live tables of the Texas Hold'em competition, especially the main event. $6,500 buy-in. Most of the people here have won their seat online. Why haven't you? Make sure you do next year. And so to the final table of the $200 No Limit Hold'em. 134 players started the competition, 10 went to the final table. Final table action began with our chip leader being Giuseppe Latini with 37,000 chips. Our first casualty in 10th place was Paul Bantock from England, who was outgunned when his pocket eights ran into kings. In 9th place was Charlie Cerisi from Cincinnati, Ohio, whose ace was dominated by Thomas Solensen. My fellow Englishman Steve Hurd finished in 8th place, and the short stack strikes again, all in pre-flop. John Dahl catches a 4 on the river to stay alive. Having hung on by his fingernails for the whole of the final table, John Dahl's luck finally runs out when he misses and just concedes the pot. He finishes in 7th place. The blinds caught up with our next 3 players, who tumbled very quickly. Alan Cady in 6th, Giuseppe Latini in 5th, and Sandra Gustafsson hanging on for a brave 4th. Now, the one hand that I must mention is the Giuseppe Latini hand against the then chip leader, Martin Clemenson. Giuseppe hit 2 pair with 10s and 7s, but his 3 that he also hit was negated by the fact that Martin had a 9 kicker. This is one of the peculiarities at Texas Hold'em. When you watch this hand, you can learn a lot from it. Thomas Sorensen, playing his first ever live tournament, played bravely and eventually finished 3rd. When in the hand before his elimination, he only flat called a re-raise by chip leader Martin Clemenson, and then checked it down to the river and folded to a bet by Clemenson. Thomas was crippled by this move and had to go in the next hand. No luck at all, so 3rd place and $2,600 for Thomas Sorensen. And so finally to our heads-up battle, and often in Hold'em, heads-up is a different game from the rest of the competition. As we go heads up, Martin Clemenson is our chip leader with about 2/3 of the chips at the table. But Matthew Hogger quickly becomes the aggressor, continually re-raising Clemenson's raises and making him fold. Eventually the pressure gets to Clemenson and he calls a re-raise all in from Hogger with a marginal hand ace-4. When Hogger turns his hand over, he's holding a powerfully dominating ace-10. No luck for Clemenson as he doesn't spike the required 4. Loses the hand and is now a massive underdog to Hogger's massive chip lead. Clemenson has no choice but to push all in with his king-8. The better hand against Matthew's 10-6, but when Matthew spikes a 6, it's all over and we have our champion, Matthew Hogger from England. Matthew Hogger, you won it.
That's right.
How did it go from you? Go on, talk us through it from hand 1.
Well, with Side, I had loads of. I didn't play very well to start with. I got a bit lucky, not necessarily playing bad moves, but I got very lucky. A couple of pivotal hands. I had Ace Jack against an Ace Queen, big and small blind. I hit the Jack on the turn. I would have been out then. So that was a bit of a turning point. Another one, I had a full house with 3 5s and 8 on the board, and I was against 10s. The river was an 8. From them two hands onwards, then I went from strength to strength. But you know, I needed the luck, and I got the luck then. And then from then on, I feel I sort of played pretty steady. Just played my normal game, and you won. Ended up winning, yeah. You won.
I noticed in the heads-up battle with Martin, who's a very aggressive player himself, you actually were extremely aggressive, putting him to the test at all times.
Yeah.
Were you seeing quality hands there, or were you just at it?
No,
tell us now.
No, I had aces. You know, I had aces. I think I had last 3 hands. I had 3 aces in a row. They weren't the kickers weren't great, but every time he was raising about 20,000, I thought you can't have the hand every time. So, we're heads up. If I come second, I'm absolutely delighted with second anyway. So I'll push all in and see what happens. And then the main hand he called ace 4, I had ace 10. So
now I happen to know that you and your brother here, you're going to play the Hold'em Blackjack tournament, aren't you?
Yeah, we qualified online through that one. So
is your package here through Hold'em Blackjack?
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So you got $8,500 for winning this today, and you're going to play the Hold'em Blackjack, which you are pretty much an expert. You and your brother, aren't you?
I'm not too bad. My ROI is about it's about 70% online. So hopefully we'll win a bit in that as well.
Oh, mate, it could be a great week for you. Just one last question. You haven't got a few quid for an aging comedian, have you?
Well, is that you, is that?
It's me.
No, I'll see what I can do at the end of the week. I'll see how much more I've made.
All right, mate. Well, listen, well played. Victory for England. Well played, Matthew. Cheers.
Smile, come on.
Martin, second place. You looked favourite for a long time there, especially after one huge hand. The then chip leader, I think there's an Italian man called Joseph, was sitting to your left. And I think you put him to the test by raising all in. And he called you with ace 10. You had queen jack. Was that the defining hand for you of the tournament?
That was definitely a swing pot. Definitely. I got lucky, obviously. I hoped he would fold. Queen jack is not a very good hand. I was making a very good play. I was hoping for him to fold. He called, obviously, and I got lucky, and it was a great swing pot. And because of that, I had the chip lead, the table image, and I was the favorite of the game.
Yeah, when it got to heads up with Matthew, he was extremely aggressive. Now, did you think that he was bluffing? Did you think he had quality cards?
I think he was bluffing with the final hand, because it was the second time him limping, and then me racing, him re-racing. So, and ace high, in a heads-up match is a very good hand, and I was just, sometimes it's about intuition, and I thought I made a good decision. Obviously, I didn't. He had ace 10, he was slipping, very good play by him, and I got unlucky. I didn't flop. He flopped the top pair, and that's it.
How old are you?
I'm 24. Yeah.
And how long have you been playing?
This is my 7th year.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
so you've been playing since you were a kid?
Yeah.
Now I've got... There you are. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That's what you sound like when you're playing at the other side of the room. Now, I've got to ask you about your antics at the table.
Yeah.
Because, there are a lot of poker players, especially in America, who are very big characters at the table. Do you do it because you can't help it, it's your personality, or do you do it to get an edge and get your opponents to go on tilt?
It's mostly because I can't help it. Let me say that in that way, because I think you have to live in the situation, and it's not about me making the other players tilt. It's not about that, because I love the players playing at the table. I want them to enjoy themselves playing, because it's not about the money, or it's about the money.
It is about the money.
But still, you have to enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
So it's because I can't help myself.
But do you think you annoy them?
I hope so, but it's not my intuition.
I don't think you... I'll say this, I've watched you all night now playing, and I don't think that you deliberately want to upset anybody.
No, I don't.
This is just a part of the game. And I have to say, it's very entertaining because you danced for us. I think you sang for us at one stage. You ran around whooping and screaming. And that's fantastic television. So I just like to say on behalf of our viewers, thank you very much and well played, Martin.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Bye. Thank you very much.
Martin. It's Martin. You won't forget him.